Dear students, welcome to my class. Today we are going to discuss about another important case law. As the name appears, this is an Indian case law, Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt. See, look at the citation. It is 1913 40 ALJ 489. That means the matter was decided in the year 1913. It was reported in Allahabad Law Journal. Okay, so let us move into the facts of the case. As I told you before, facts of the case normally are interesting. They will lead you to understand what is the law behind this situation or how a particular law has been evolved because of this case law. So the most important part of any study of case law is the judgment part of it, what it was decided and what kind of law evolved. But at the same time, you should learn and understand the facts of the case also, because it makes the learning more interesting and it is easy for you to remember. Okay, so in this case, Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt, let's look into the facts. The first thing what happened is that Gauri Dutt, let's call him G. Gauri Dutt sent his servant Lalman L to find out his missing nephew. Okay, so nephew was missing. He appointed the servant, go and search and find out my nephew. Okay, so but as soon as the servant went in search of the nephew, G has also done something additional. What did he do? He made an announcement in the newspaper that whosoever finds my nephew will be given a reward of 500 rupees. Okay. See, remember when G sent his servant L, he also gave him travelling expenditure. And the reward was declared afterwards. Now, without any knowledge of all these things, L brought the child back. After some time, so when L brought the child back, he was given 20 rupees and 2 sovereigns as a token of the pleasure by the employer. And definitely the servant was very happy. But after some time, 6 months or so, for some other reason, L was dismissed from the service. And then he learned about the reward which was declared at that time. Okay, what did he do? He filed a case for recovering the announced reward. Now, this is the facts of the case. So, you understood what has happened. Now, the servant L approached the court saying that the proposal, see, when the employer made a proposal, the proposal was as a declaration made in the newspaper. So, it is a general offer. And the general offer, as we all know, can be accepted by anyone in the public. Okay, so and this acceptance can be either by communicating it verbally or by writing, or it can be through an action. Now, how, according to L, he has accepted the offer by action. And what is his action? He brought the child back. Okay, so according to him, he has accepted the proposal and brought the child back, and therefore G is bound to pay the reward as promised. Okay, but in front of the court, this was argued that in order to accept a proposal or an offer, what is required? Knowledge is required. That means the person who is accepting should know that an offer is existing. Okay, is it not so? Now, how do we have that knowledge? See, if it is an offer made through a newspaper advertisement, the person who must have read the newspaper, that is how it is communicated. If it is a telephonic conversation, the other person must have attended it. If it is a letter, the other person must have received it. So, this communication link is very important in order to make the proposal a valid one. Only then the acceptance is possible, because only if it is communicated, the promisee will have a knowledge about the proposal. In this case, L did not have the knowledge about the proposal because he never knew such a reward is declared. He went in search of the boy because that was his duty and he brought it as a part of his duty, he was not accepting an offer. He came to know about the offer much later, and by that time we should remember the time for acceptance is over, because by the time L came to know about the offer, the child was already brought back and there is no point in accepting that offer. So the time to accept the offer was just before the child was brought. So when L came to know about the offer was actually not existing. And this particular offer was not communicated to L. And what is to be concluded? A proposal, in order to be complete, must be communicated to the promisee. What happened in this case? Gauri Dutt made a general offer. Lalman had no knowledge about it and therefore he is incapable of accepting it, and it is concluded that absence of communication makes the acceptance impossible, and therefore it was decided that since Lalman could not accept it because he did not know about the offer, there is no valid contract exist. Okay, that's all about this case law. We will meet with another interesting case